This is the number 4 team in the country, Oklahoma, looking to get one step closer to a Big 12 title and a college football playoff spot, taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. Oklahoma, the only team in the top, former walk-on ever to win a Heisman Trophy. And Oklahoma will start on the 25-yard line. This year, number 3 in college football. He's also run for 5 more. He's going to hand it off, though, to Rodney Anderson on first down. And Anderson out to the 30-yard line. And Mayfield's first pass is tipped, and it is incomplete. Should have.
Jayhawk defense.
There's the win you talked about. And if you're 1-9, it needs to be stated that you got to make that kind of play to beat a team like Oklahoma. Here's 3rd and 5. Mayfield over the middle, and Lamb stood up at the line to gain. Big hit. The way the wind is moving, he's thrown right into that wind. Another handoff. Anderson. Good run of about 8 yards.
For the last month.
He'll get it again on 2nd and short, and he has the first down.
Of last year's team, you thought that might be a weakness? No, sir. This group is very capable.
Play action for Mayfield, and everybody covered downfield. Mayfield, as a flag goes down, throws it out of bounds. ECU to get into the top 4 for the first time in 2 years. Anderson running right, and he gets maybe 3, pushing the pile of a season as he did last year. 8 tackles for a loss. A year ago, he had 20. Mayfield on a wide receiver screen and a great open field stop. Mayfield with time, and Andrews comes free. A penalty marker is thrown out here late afternoon in Lawrence. And Oklahoma just going to keep it on the ground on 3rd down and 22. And Anderson grabbed by Loneker. The kicking duties for Oklahoma. Punting into the wind, and that ball gets held up. That's a terrific kick. So Kansas starting on the 8-yard line, and they're going to run Herbert on first down, trying to cut it back. And he's stacked up. No gain on the play. First 7 games of the season for KU. Herbert again off the left side. He gets smoked by DJ. Stanley threw for 3 touchdowns last week, taking a shot downfield, and it is incomplete.
Got to make big plays like that when you're playing against a top 5 team.
Cole Moose, the punter, got a little wind at his back. C.D. Lamb on the 37-yard line. Lamb able to break a tackle. And now, look out here. He's got speed, and he's able to get outside. Finally dragged down. And the play caller. He was the offensive coordinator last year. And Anderson not going to get it. Great stop. Almost threw an interception on the last drive because of an errant throw. He'll pass here. Off the pump fake. Rolling out. Gets hit. Now he throws it over the middle. It's caught by Anderson. Inside the 10. And Anderson knocked out a play. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Down was pretty dang close to miraculous.
34-yard touchdown pass to Anderson. And the point after makes it 7-0. As if he needed any more motivation. And Kansas just jumps on the ball, or Kansas rather, on its 31-yard line after the Oklahoma touchdown on 4th down. Stanley's pass caught at the 35-yard line by Evans.
But relying on some young people and some fresh faces.
Here's Fairs again in the flat. And a gain of maybe a long 2 for Kansas. And they're going to keep it on the ground here. And close to the first down is Taylor.
Side of the 50-yard line. After the nice punt return last time, Oklahoma only had to go a short field. Can't do it 2 drives in a row.
And the fair catch signal made a slowly, and the highs and the lows. Off play action, Mayfield throws it to the sideline, incomplete. Let's go to Adnan. You can see that wind in the face of Oklahoma. So Sermon running right, and he's going to get tackled for a loss at the 14-12. Again with a wind in his face. You see some debris blowing out of the field. Mayfield from the 5, moving around in the pocket, now takes off and gets sacked at the 13-yard line. Will boot it away here on 4th down. Had to move a little bit to his left. And the ball gets caught up in the wind, and it checks up, and Kansas is going to start. It's here for Kansas, starting inside the 40-yard line to make something happen. Stanley off play action, long throw, and the catch is made for a first down to the 20 side, the 30-yard line of Oklahoma. Stanley to the other side, juggled and caught. Harrell on the grab. On 2nd and 5, a strike to Harrell again. We'll see where the comment should try to score before you have to change ends at the quarter. They run the ball here, and they're not going to get anything. Herbert.
But hey, go with youth movement if he's got better players.
2nd and long. Wide receiver screen to Johnson. Stanley to the air with time. End zone throw is high. The flag comes. They got Taylor Martin in to take the direct snap here, and it goes over his head. Martin in trouble. And that's Kansas football in a nutshell. Right. Caused a 10-yard loss, so it's 2nd and goal as we start the second quarter. And here's Stanley running the ball, and he gets a good chunk of it from the 6-yard line to the end zone. Incomplete.
If you're trying to upset a top 5 team.
Rui's kick is good.
We're not a very reactionary society, are we? We don't overreact. No, not us.
Short kick, and because it gets caught up in the wind, it goes. He's 28, Garrett. Lincoln is 34, the youngest head coach in FBS. Rodney Anderson running left, and a good defensive play, only a 1-yard. Play action, Mayfield running here. And he will not get to the line to gain. Come up. Anderson's already had 9 carries on the day. Not going to get number 10. Mayfield down the field. It's over the head of Andrew.
He's going to wish he had back.
Seibert with the wind at his back, and he kicks it too far. Into the end. They haven't had great seasons, but Taylor on an undefeated team as a true freshman, doing what not many Wisconsin backs before him have been able to do. Good pickup. Harrell close to the first. Georgia trying to bounce back after getting destroyed by Auburn last week. First down throw to Harrell again, and he gets a face full. Yeah, whether it's Auburn or Alabama, you win that game, you beat Georgia Tech on the road, you win that game, you're in the top 4. Long throw, and 1 or 3rd and 8. Stanley dumps the pass off, and Herbert's had a team in the top 4. Some thought the Sooners should have been higher than number 4. They do punt it on 4th down and 1. And it takes a couple of good bounces down to about the 26-yard line, so that works out well. Rodney Anderson getting the carry here, and wrapped up by Dorrance Armstrong. And you still have Notre Dame. Play action. Mayfield looking downfield, and now lets it fly into double coverage. It's juggled and incomplete, almost pulled in by Marquise for OU. Mayfield, short throw. Anderson unable to get the first down. Tack. Seibert again with the wind at his back, gets a hold of that one, and it's muffed. But Kansas able. Carter Stanley, the quarterback, stands and throws, and it's too high. Intended. Play action. Stanley in trouble and looking for somewhere to run, and instead he gets squashed.
Protecting your quarterback.
Short throw. It's deflected and picked off. Intercepted by Emmanuel Beal, and Oklahoma's going to have
another drop by the Kansas wide receivers. You see Stanley trying to get it underneath to Fairs to try to get him out the back door with blockers out in front. Stanley just threw it too hard. I mean, the throw is only 6 or 7 yards, and it was accurate, but he threw it 100 miles.
The first big mistake by Kansas, so they muffed a punt. Here's a short pass. It'll go down to Badette. He's at the 5 and rolled down. Touchdown pass earlier. They're going to get lined up here. Play clock at 1, and it will be Anderson. And good defense again at the line of scrimmage. And on the the end around, they hand it off to Smallwood. He's into the end zone for his second rushing touchdown of the season.
The little jet sweep to Smallwood. Thought Baker Mayfield might call his own number. See if he can.
Down. It started with the Beal interception off the deflection by Fairs. Looked like us yesterday in our 2QB segment, which I know everybody's looking forward to seeing later. Touchback and swing pass out of the backfield to Herbert. And pushing forward to the 20. Second and 8. And here's Herbert running. And it's going to put him in third. Stanley's pass is caught by Harrell, stretching out. Herbert gets the call straight ahead. Got some running room. Push back at the 43. Second and 3 for Kansas. Herbert again has the first down. Right now, they'll run the ball in Oklahoma in the first quarter, but also the rushing yards skewed by the sack. Herbert again finds running room. After the offside, they got 2 timeouts. We're inside 4 minutes to go in the half. Stanley going to hit Harrell again out in space. No running room, so he goes behind the line and finally knocked down to the 48. Stanley fakes the run. Now looking downfield. They'll keep it on the ground, though. Dom Williams, a true freshman. In fact, one of our camera operators heard him say, stick to basketball. He's not wrong with that comment about the one win.
Nice enough to come by.
Those are early wake-up calls. Here's Rodney Anderson running the ball. It gives him a little more breathing room. Mayfield with a ton of time. Now throws high. Another drop ball. Mayfield looking. Everybody covered. Now Mayfield overthrows the. They do come after it, and Seibert gets the kick away. And Oklahoma downs it
from Kansas's defense.
Carter Stanley trying to take off, and he's going to get sacked instead. Oklahoma has West Virginia next week in Norman, and perhaps the Big 12 championship game after that. Incomplete.
Testament to the way Kansas has played.
Pass deflected at the line. Back to Oklahoma.
He's trying to get a nice little hitch stick right there to the tight end, Ben Johnson. For them, I'd call the punt block right here.
He gets it away. Kicking into the wind, and the fair catch made by Lamb at the sin any other week, knowing that it's human nature to look past an inferior foe. Mayfield on first down, surveying the field. Now throws downfield, and it's on target. And there's Flowers making the grab. Because he's angry or if he's in pain.
Roughing the passer, number 13, defense. 15-yard penalty at the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
He's definitely hurt on that play. And what is Hassan defense thinking there?
And honestly, that should be targeting. I mean, has been targeting call.
Mayfield throws downfield, incomplete. Flag down.
You could see clear as day. I mean, grabbing.
And all of a sudden, a receiver comes free. Not only is it a first down, but it's a touchdown. Here's Anderson running the ball. He takes it for the Sooners. Mayfield slings it to Brown. And Brown gets the first down to the 15-yard line. Brown heading for the end zone. Touchdown with 10 seconds.
My, how quickly things can change. Here we are about 30 seconds ago talking about Oklahoma's offense and how they've been kind of stagnant, but they haven't really been able to do much through the air. A space, and he beats the defenders to the pylon. You can see how explosive this group is when they're clicking.
Good block.
You just watch Baker Mayfield. Look how fast the ball gets out of his hands. I mean, he flips his feet so quickly, and throwing a quick game as a right-handed passer to your right like that is difficult. To get your feet around in a line to deliver the ball accurately, that kind of shows you just how athletic Baker Mayfield is. And you get the ball into the hands of Brown with green grass, you can see just how fast he is.
But they didn't want him anymore there, so he ends up at Oklahoma. And now he might win the Heisman Trophy. As the kick goes out of bounds, Kansas will start. And people will tune in. Maybe they'll see the score and say, well, 21-3, it's what we expected. But if you watch the first half, Kansas had opportunity. Look at our first half stats brought to you by Hooters. Oklahoma with 170 yards of offense, holding Kansas to 69. Even though it's an 18-point lead for Oklahoma, didn't really feel that way. Kansas left some plays on the board. 2 dropped interceptions by the Jayhawks for Kansas on Mayfield, and he was wincing in pain after. Kansas will start with the football from the 25-yard line. And on first down, they run Herbert.
But for the most part, just inconsistent on offense outside of a few big plays.
And this ball is on target. And finally, a play is made. 3 interceptions. He's been pretty solid, though, today for the most part. Herbert, the running back, stacked up at the line of right. It didn't feel that way at all. It was a 4-point game for most of that half, with Kansas playing as well as Oklahoma for most of it. Another pass that's
utilizing some of their tempo.
Herbert on the pitch, gets the first down easily, and knocked out of. They'll give it to Herbert again.
Teams, but I would have had the Sooners at number 2 in last week's rankings.
Play action here for Stanley, and not on the same page with.
And they're putting a lot of conflict.
Another shot here on third down. A lot of contact downfield.
A little bit longer than he probably should have.
The field goal is good. I also thought that Will Johnson underneath, actually no good, excuse me, their 22-yard line. It's been a spectacular year for Baker Mayfield. He hands it off to Rodney Anderson, who's really come on the left.
Consistent he's been over the course of his career.
On 2nd and 5, short throw to Brown. And on 3rd and 2, gets it out of his hand quick.
In quick game, he gets his feet around so quickly and delivers the ball so accurately. Feet are in the quick game to his right.
Hand off to Anderson. He's done for a loss. And he threw a great deep ball earlier that was dropped in the first half. Here Mayfield is dropped, sacked by Dorrance.
But you can't take a cheap shot late.
Sooners just run the ball on 3rd and 29. Anderson cuts it back. And it was
in the backfield.
He can do so much in the passing game for you as well. Seibert punting here. Short kick. And
maybe those things will help Kansas get a boost as well.
Straight ahead run for Herbert. And that's mid-November against South Dakota State. And the place was absolutely packed and jumping. Removed from winning a New Year's Six game, winning the Orange Bowl. Pass sails over the head of a receiver. Cole Moose will punt it away. C.D. Lamb is deep for the Sooners. And a backtrack.
Is you have to reel those balls in.
Quick throw by Mayfield to Badette. Tackled for a loss.
Open.
And the stature is similar to Breeze as well. 2nd and 11. Mayfield dumping it off to Badette, going the other way. Close to a first down. And
much better head on his shoulders and a better understanding of how to live life away from the field.
Here comes a reversal. 3 straight plays. They get it to Badette on the perimeter.
He's got all the good stuff that you got to have that you can't coach.
Mayfield to throw on 2nd down. And Andrews wide open, gets the first down to the 45.
And does he win? Absolutely.
Mayfield throws on target. Granted, the receiver wide open.
He thrives in that role.
Mayfield off a pump fake, has an open receiver, and it's caught inside the 5. Michael Jones.
Mayfield, a little pump action underneath. They slide Jones on the fade from the slot position. Little bit underthrown. See the pump. Look at him reset his feet. He fakes as he's throwing to the left, resets his feet, takes time to deliver it accurately, and does so.
Mayfield rolling out, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. Mark Andrews. Had to come from behind. Was down 2 scores in the second half of that game. Short kickoff fielded near the 10-yard line by Shadler and out close to the 30. When people see that, they can't help but make the bad Johnny Manziel comparison. As Stanley throws complete, close to a first down.
Crosses the line far too often. He needs to reel it back in.
Williams off the left side. And again, it goes back to, can you win a national championship with a quarterback that is that volatile? Williams.
Sooners. He is as good as anybody we've seen in college football in some time.
And a little problem there with the handoff, and Oka
is good enough to compete with anybody when they're on their best day.
Kansas punting the ball here on 4th and 6. And it checks up and goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line.
Again, I think that's really what you have to evaluate when trying to determine if it's over the line.
Mayfield throwing it downfield, and again the pass on the money.
Areas in which he can certainly grow over the next few years.
Long throw by Mayfield. That's on target again. Calcaterra with the grab.
So it's the during the week distraction that you would worry about.
Sermon on the run gets a couple of yards.
Lang, he said, what's he doing? And Mick said, he's getting mad. That's what happens with Baker Mayfield, and the more mad he gets.
Play clock down to 1. And a quick throw by Mayfield that's knocked away, incomplete. On 4th down, the pass is caught right at the line to gain.
Try to get Andrews on the motion, get him some momentum as he runs to the flat. It looks like he had enough. Spot was a little bit in favor of Kansas. It looked like he had more yards than they gave him, but
that's what I thought too. I thought he had it. Teammates love him. They have his back. They respond to him. He brings out the best in them as he throws to Andrews to the 10-yard line. Virginia next week, then the Big 12 title game. Mayfield on 1st and goal, looking for his 4th touchdown pass of the day. 2nd and goal from the 10. Mayfield and Andrews wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. That's 2 for Andrews on the day. For number 6.
Eligible man downfield. Number 78. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
It's on the left tackle, Orlando, to get that body moving.
He's a big boy.
Hard to hold up after 3 yards. Mayfield keeping it here. That was a great fake. He's down to the 10-yard.
Tough to defend. No doubt about it.
Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Beautiful touch pass, but it was tipped at the last. 27-yard field goal try by Seibert. It's good.
I'm starting to turn the page. Thank goodness.
Scooped up by Shadler on the 25-yard line and knocked out a play at the Paul Bunyan Axe game next week in Minneapolis against the Gophers. 1st down, Stanley hit, and the pass incomplete. But obviously with Miami and Clemson playing each other, one of those teams is going to be out. Here's a double pass they were trying to set up, and Kwame
about to have here over the next few weeks.
On 3rd and 21, Kansas just runs the ball here, and Herbert is dumped in the left. They beat the Buckeyes 31-16 back in mid-September. Off the side of the foot of the punter here on 4th down, going to sail way out of bounds. And Oklahoma.
Very, very different ways of going about their business.
Mayfield finds Calcaterra for a 1st down of the. Sermon straight ahead, and the true freshman is loose. Into the end zone. Touchdown, OU.
3rd carry. But Rodney Anderson a little bit banged up earlier in the game. They put in Sermon. No problem. No drop off from the sophomore to the freshman. This running back group, you thought that there might be a drop off after Samaje Perine and Joe Mix is deeper and as talented as they've ever been.
And the also NBA highlights as well. Kickoff taken by Shadler, and Shadler past the 30, and good return out to the 42. And as we saw yesterday, all I know is when we got away from football is when I had trouble. We were just throwing the ball, even though you two guys are allegedly the track.
Greg's a competitor. I can see him doing it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Pass off target intent. Pressure off the edge. Stanley's pass broken up. Stanley got
much of anything, either on the ground or through the air. This group is clearly taking steps in the right direction.
I don't think there's any question at this point Oklahoma's one of the best 4 teams. But they still have tough games we didn't show there. And then just talking to the fans, that was actually in the first half, well before the gesture, as Sermon runs left. And it's a gain of a couple in football, caught on camera, and something that is a regrettable moment for Baker Mayfield in what has been. Kyler Murray, the quarterback here on 3rd and 5. Transfer from Texas A&M. And looked like he's
future over the next couple of years.
Yeah, talk about the stature. 5'10", $192 is what he's listed at. And the fair catch made at the 47. Easy job. 34 years old and be running this program with the expectations they have here.
An outside shot of potentially getting in as a 2-loss team.
So at this point, you're going to have the SEC champ as that pass is caught.
A trend or a precedent, I don't think, by including 2 teams from the same league. Remember, back in 2011, that's kind of what got us to the college football. I would imagine that's what next week has a chance to deliver.
Murray on the keeper. And Murray, you see, man, how quick he is. The 30.
Play right away.
He's the heir apparent with Mayfield off to the pros next year. Good throw that time. Murray throwing again. Smallwood on the grab, knocked out of bounds.
Stamp to this program, and will continue to.
Murray steps up and runs. Murray again with great speed. Scoots out of play after he gets
in the front 7, but that will come in the weeks to come.
Adams wrapped up in the backfield. 2 years ago, Oklahoma was in the college football playoff. Murray to the end zone. Knocked away at the last second.
Doing a good enough job up front with your front 4 to stop the run.
Murray's pass in the end zone, incomplete, knocked away at the last. It was a 7-3 game, right? Early to mid part of the second quarter, and then Kansas had a bad turnover in its own end that led to an OU touchdown. Murray running around just takes a seat.
Barely off the mark. He is really dialed in here in the final 30 minutes.
Seibert tacks on 3 in a war. Tennessee hires. Things have changed, and maybe they'll go back, look back, and appreciate Philip Fulmer a little bit more about what he was able to accomplish at Tennessee 15, 20 years ago. Shadler across the 30-yard line.
In Knoxville.
Peyton Bender is in the game at quarterback for Kansas. Don Williams the ball.
That can move around.
Little swing pass that's in the dirt on.
It's a challenging thing to do.
Here's the punt on 4th down. And boy, Lamb decides to field it for some reason.
Big 12 championship game. I don't think I've ever seen a situation where 5 teams are still not mathematically eliminated with just 2 games to go. That's pretty amazing. Half the league can still potentially get the championship game if the stars align.
Greg, the idea when they set up the Big 12 championship game was to avoid having a team left out of the college football playoff conversation, but ultimately in 2017 could have come back to haunt a Big 12 team by getting, if you're Oklahoma, let's say, or anybody, because nobody is undefeated in the conference anymore, that second loss in the Big 12 title game.
Well, that's the one thing, and with the round-robin schedule that the Big 12 plays, it probably does present more opportunities for upsets, because playing a team for the second time is very difficult.
Murray throws it downfield here, and the pass is pulled in by Meade for a first down.
Pass is complete.
But I look at the way Oklahoma has played. Granted, you look at the game against Iowa State, didn't play well defensively at all, but I don't feel like that's who they are. The bigger the moment, the better the opposition, the better they seem to play, Tom, and I really do. I like their chances a lot of finishing the regular season at 11-1 and obviously winning the Big 12 championship game against likely TCU.
Well, and I'm with you. And you know, we've seen TCU up close and personal. We've seen Oklahoma State as a crew. I think this is the most complete team of the 3.
Here's Adams running. Keep going, Tom. Game at about 8.
Equation. Championship teams are all flawed in some way.
Well, and as you look at the top 4 teams, we just saw Alabama last.
Guys are in there, and the right pieces are healthy, and they're operating and playing at a high level. So, really improve And the team that improves the most is likely going to be crowned the national champion.
And which injuries that get that extra few weeks to get healthy for the college football playoff. Oklahoma's one step closer to reaching its goal by beating Kansas 41-3. The Sooners now 10-1 on the season. Coming up next on ESPN, College Football Scoreboard presented by Honda. This has been a presentation of ESPN. For Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Lawrence. SEC football, LSU, Tennessee coming up. Oklahoma a winner, 41-3 over the Jayhawks.